Hey, what's up guys? Steven here with Steven Fuller Films, and today I just wanted to take you through a video walkthrough on how I edit my real estate videos. So, videographers out there, realtors out there who are doing videos for houses, this video is for you. So make sure to like and subscribe if this is the type of content that you would like to see in the future. But without further ado, let's just hop right in and go over my process. Alright guys, so hopping into the Premiere Pro timeline, you can see that not a whole lot is going on by way of special effects or anything like that. I just cut all the clips together and added a few different things that I'll go over. But everything was done on the Canon 80D, 60 frames per second, converted to 24 frames for slow motion, and I have a 16mm equivalent lens on the camera to get that wide angle effect. So first clip, we started around 6:30 a.m. and I wanted to get the sunrise coming through these trees right here. So you can see that I moved forward, grabbed the sun flare, and did a slight pan to the side to catch some of the rest of the house in the same shot, just to kind of give an establishing shot of what we're looking at here. So to get this particular sun flare, I stopped the lens down to about f8, and that just kind of really highlighted the individual rays of the sun and gave me this really cool sun flare effect. So I'll just let you watch it again. And then I added some wind and some birds chirping to the bottom of the timeline just to kind of add a little bit of depth to it, make it feel like there's some trees and some wind blowing through the leaves and stuff like that. I love using sound design in real estate shoots. It's just kind of something that a lot of people overlook, and it really does add a lot to your video, so I recommend doing that. Moving on to the next clip, it's just a wide angle shot of the front of the home. Now for this particular shot, I wanted to seamlessly move into the interior of the home. So as you can see, I speed ramped it right through the front door and into the lobby there. So by doing this, it just allowed a seamless, just boom, just really easy on the eyes, and it's a lot better than just a straight cut. So to do this, I speed ramped. I just did the normal speed, gliding in there on a Ronin S. And then at this clip right here, I sped it up right onto the door. And right as we hit this area, I put a zoom in transition that I got from the Full-Time Filmmaker course by Parker Walbeck, which, speaking of, I have a 25% off link in my description if you'd like to pick that course up. I highly recommend it. It has completely changed my workflow and how I shoot videos. Parker is an incredible teacher and mentor, and his course is worth every penny that it asks for. So I have partnered up with him, and will leave that link in the description where you can get the course and all of these presets and stuff that I will talk about in this video. So this is just called a smooth zoom in transition, and basically it just punches in on the image and allows you to get this effect. So just looks really smooth, really clean. So yeah, go grab that from the link. So moving on, we're in the lobby now, and I just want to do a straight push-in shot to match up with the exterior push-in shot that I did. So just kind of moved in here and then cut to the living room. And on this particular shot, I did a parallax. So it's where you move forward with your glide cam or your gimbal, in this case the Ronin S, and slightly tilt it to the side. So you're getting a moving forward shot while your camera's panning, and it just really sells the movement and gives you a dynamic flow that I really love. And you'll see throughout the rest of this video, I tend to use the parallax movement quite a bit. So moving in there, getting a shot of the kitchen, doing the same parallax thing. Moving into the other angle of the kitchen. Guys, a huge tip when shooting, when you're actually on site, is to just get as many angles of every room as you can. Obviously, you're not going to use all of the angles, but if you get every angle possible, then when you're editing this together, you're going to be able to find the best one and have just perfect angles for every single shot. So moving into the dining room, I did a low shot. I don't usually do this type of shot, but I was experimenting with this one. This was $1 million home, and I typically will do more expensive ones, and I really don't like experimenting on the newer ones. So I figured I could throw this in on this one, and the realtors that I did this for ended up really liking it, so it worked out in my favor. But for this one, I just turned the gimbal upside down and glided the camera along the floor. Moving on, cut to another angle of the living room. Wanted to catch the piano and the guitar, stuff like that. And then moving on, got the bathroom downstairs. You want to make sure to catch everything, so even if it's kind of small and not really important looking, if it's a 3-bathroom house, you want to make sure to get all the bathrooms in there. So going to the upstairs, I wanted to establish that fact, so I did a gliding shot over the banister here, looking into the lobby area. By doing this, I just kind of lifted the Ronin S up and tilted the camera down and just panned it right over there. Pretty easy movement right there, but it just sold the fact that I was upstairs. Moving on, did another parallax effect on the loft room here. And quick tip, when you're shooting again, keep the fans on. Again, it just really sells the movement. If you have movement in your frame, it just really is more enticing to watch, I find. So I always like to keep the fans on like that. Now, again, you can see that parallax effect. I use the foreground of the frame to just kind of really sell the fact that I'm moving into the room like that. So catching that room, this room, spare bedroom next to it. You just want to make sure you really don't have to do a whole lot of work on these ones. You just kind of push in like that. And then when you're editing it together, you can just really cut them together, no problem. Moving on to the master bedroom. Again, I wanted to get this foreground gliding up against it. So as you can see so far, this has really just been cutting these together. A lot of these effects and stuff like that you get while doing the shoot. And I will be planning a behind the scenes shoot for the future where I'll go over my actual techniques and you can see that. So make sure again to like and subscribe if you want to see something like that. But moving on, just cutting together, moving into the bathroom. On this one, I like to usually if they have a cool shower, I'll turn it on and just kind of get a parallax of the water moving like that. So again, just adding depth to the video. Moving into the bathroom here, office, and then that's summed up the interior of the home. So we're moving into the backyard. So when you're filming the property, you really want to focus on the amenities and the luxuries of the home. So in this case, they had a picnic area, they had a pool, they had a gazebo, and they had a basketball court. So I wanted to make sure to capture all of that, starting with the picnic area, getting another angle of that, moving out from under the gazebo, overhead shot of the pool there, parallax of the fountains, and I switched over to the 85mm lens for this particular shoot, or this particular shot here. Just wanted to really capture the crystal clear water coming off of the slide and the waterfall. I'll typically use my close-up lens to highlight different features like that, but I don't tend to overuse it, and most of the time the wide-angle lens is on the camera. I find a lot of amateur realtors, videographers, things like that will use tight lenses on stuff that doesn't really matter, like maybe like a vase of flowers on the table or just something that doesn't really pertain to the home. But in this case, I like to use a tight angle lens on stuff like this so they can really get an idea of what it looks like. But moving on, I saw more sun flare. It was still sun rising at this point. I think it's like 7:30 a.m. I saw it through the trees, so I just wanted to catch this angle of the exterior of the home while also getting that sun flare. Again, this was f11 to get those rays. So moved in like that. Got another sun flare moving in on the gazebo, and then a parallax effect on the basketball court. And then wrapping up the front of the home, I went ahead and used a motion graphic template from Rocket Stock. I think this was called 700 minimal presets or something like that. So I just put the address in that box and It's just a drag and drop, plug and play type deal. It's really not that hard to use. You just click here, drop it on there, and then edit the text, and you can make it bigger or smaller or whatever you need to do. So I used one of those and then reversed the movement so that way it would do the same thing it did just in the reverse. And then as it closes, I fade it out to black, and there you go. That is how I edit a real estate video. I kept it at about a minute 25, minute 22 seconds. I tried to keep my videos at about that time. I won't go over 2.5 minutes. Anything over that, and the people that are viewing the home are just gonna be skipping through the video trying to find the things that they want. So I like to keep it really just compact and tight. And like I said, as far as effects go, I didn't really do anything. I used a cross dissolve to make it dip to black like that, and then an exponential fade on the audio to just fade the volume of the song, so it just kind of made sense as it ended. And as far as lumetri color, I didn't use any LUTs or anything like that. I use a Canon camera, so it has super good colors. And I don't like to color grade my real estate videos because it changes the color of the home. And if people are viewing a home, they want to see what it's actually going to look like. So if I put an orange and teal LUT on this, it's going to make all of the shadows blue and all of the walls have this orange tint to it. And it's just not going to look good, first of all. And second of all, it's not going to have a true portrayal of what the house looks like. So the most that I did was adjust the brightness and exposure levels just to make it consistent. I did that with lumetri colors on the curves. But like I said, I did not do anything, so it doesn't even really warrant going over. I recommend using a camera like a Canon. Anything from Canon, like the SL2 up, is going to be good for this type of stuff. You don't really need 4K, and the colors in Canon are just phenomenal. You don't have to do anything as far as post production goes most of the time, and it just kind of works out. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and again, if you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I will be doing further tutorial videos all about filmmaking, just tips and tricks on how to run your own production company, and in this case, shoot real estate videos. And again, make sure to ask any questions that you may have. When I do the behind the scenes shoot, I will be answering all the questions that I get in this comment section below. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.